Hello and welcome, everyone. Absolutely delighted to have all of you here today. Really looking forward to this. We are going to have lots of fun exploring this topic and really digging into it on a personal level as well. So first off, a couple of quick housekeeping things. Your access to this information after this hour is going to be through the recording on our YouTube channel. So I already had people asking for things ahead of time. I will send a link to everyone who registered so you can go back and watch it again and get that information. Yes, you are all in mute mode. At the same time, there are some times we're going to ask you for some input. So we have a couple of ways of doing that. One option is you can type in the question panel for the webinar control system, and I'm going to ask you to use that to share your input, and I am the only one who sees those. Now, the additional option we have is you can raise your hand and I can unmute you individually so that you can come on live and ask your question or share your comment. We're doing it one person at a time simply because there are so many people on this call that's the way we're going to manage sound, etc. So let's dive in terms of where we're going in the conversation. First off, to share with you, your learning objectives for this time together start with utilizing the coaching process for balance. So that applies for you personally and it applies for clients. And think about it this way. When you go through coach training, part of the process of coach training is being coached. And that's incredibly significant because we've got to know what it is to be a client if we're going to be effective as a coach. So when we go through this conversation today, keep that in mind. Use it for yourself and experience that and know, okay, now I get what it is when I'm working with my clients on this. We are also going to be utilizing the coaching process for healthy boundaries. And ultimately, this is about applying the insights personally, whether as a coach or for yourself in your own life. So our agenda in terms of getting there starts with talking about balance and exploring that. We'll consider influencing factors. Then we'll talk about healthy boundaries and influencing factors there. And in both cases, as we go, we're going to ask you to be thinking about this, contributing, and doing some work for yourself. So couple of things. Get ready to type in your question panel or raise your hand and come on live. And also, get paper and pen. Have them handy and ready for yourself because some of this is going to involve you jotting notes and using them personally. Then after we cover balance and healthy boundaries, we'll explore the concept of taking this process into your own self-care. We'll challenge you in terms of figuring out your own action plan. And then, of course, we'll wrap up talking about resources and using a Q&A time. Now, several of you did submit questions ahead of time. We do have those, and I think you're going to gain tremendous value in terms of those being answered as we go through the program. We do invite additional questions, so feel free to type those in as we go. All right, get ready to share, whether in the question panel or by raising your hand. The first thing we're going to do is explore as a group how you define balance. So whatever you want to type in, if you want to come on live and share a few thoughts, please do so. We want to hear from you. So I've got one comment in the question panel, peace of mind. Awesome, thanks. What else is balance for you, everyone? Let's see, so we're getting a feeling of centeredness. Nice. And what else? Let's see, meeting my self-identified priorities, grounded, staying focused, Instead of feeling time pressure, what's happening instead is my question back to you on that comment. Enjoyment of both work and personal life in equal measure. Being organized, great. In a calm and instead of stress-free, what's a different way of saying that? Feeling. So awesome. These are great. Thank you so much. Oh, good. More coming in. So harmony in all areas of importance. This is awesome. So let's pull from these concepts and say, okay, what are we going to use as our working definition? Let's see. I'm getting more. Now you're all on a roll, so this is awesome. We're getting being able to have a few things and hold them at the same level of priority, maintaining equilibrium. This is great. All right, tell me what you think of this working definition, everyone. A personal sense that the various areas of your life are given the appropriate amount of time and energy. What do you all think? And of course, sometimes the challenge is figuring out what is appropriate because that does vary for each and every one of you. So what does that mean to you? And I appreciate the comments. You're typing in that you love it. It's a great way to describe balance. And then, of course, the response to that appropriate word is got to figure that out for yourselves, got to define it. So absolutely. Excellent. Thank you. And now I'm going to challenge you to do exactly that. Define it. For you yourself, what is the appropriate amount of time and energy? So get that piece of paper, get your pen out, and be thinking about it. How much time is appropriate for your work, your career? How much time is appropriate for your family, for your friends? How much time is appropriate for you personally? Your health, your spirituality, if that's a part of your life, your own downtime, relaxing, your personal care. So create a list. For those of you that have done coach training, you're familiar with some of the different categories we talk about. We talk about personal, we talk about relationships, career, financial, lifestyle, and health. However you want to do it, what is the appropriate amount of time for you? So hopefully you're all writing that down, you're thinking about that, and you've got some ideas. And the answer is different for each of you. So as you put that down and decide what it is for you, the next challenge, of course, is to say, okay, if this is what's appropriate for me, how does it compare to what's actually happening for me? Because sometimes we say, okay, it's appropriate for me to have a 40-hour work week. And then when you look at it, you're putting in 60 hours. I've done that. We've all done that. And you're going, okay, so what I say is appropriate and what's happening, are they the same or different? And what am I going to do about that? And how am I going to manage that? So the idea of taking the time is really sorting it out for yourself. Think about that. Now, once you've got that part of it, list it for yourself. The next question that comes up is, what might get in the way? So let's share some common barriers, whether you want to raise your hand or type them in. What are things that get in the way for you to have the balance based on the appropriate amount of time as you define it? And I'm guessing whatever your barrier is, other people have it too. So type them in. What are the barriers? What gets in the way of creating that balance for yourself? Who's going to be brave and start the sharing here? All right. So I've got unexpected circumstances or challenges that come up, expectations of a manager at work, family emergencies. These are great. I also, Joyce, I'm seeing you raised your hand, so I'm going to unmute you and have you come on live. Joyce, you've got yourself muted, so click on the picture of the microphone and share what your challenge is.
My challenge is working too many additional hours.
Yep. Thank you,
When I'm
Joyce.
trying to.
I appreciate you coming on live, and I'm going to keep reading what others are typing in. Let's see. Overscheduling and overcommitting. Not saying no. That's a big one. We could do a whole class on how to say no, by the way. That's a big one. Administrative chores of running the business. Yes, absolutely. The behind the scenes work. Getting overwhelmed. And it's funny how that works, because when we're overwhelmed, it slows us down even more. Demands from outside sources like friends who call in need our time. Competing priorities from inside and out. This is awesome. Trying to create a coaching practice and have a full-time job. Yes, absolutely. These are things that get in the way. And what else? Does everybody remember this from your coaching training? We ask people, what are the barriers? What are the challenges? What might get in the way? And we ask them what else? Get them all out there. Define those barriers, define those challenges. Because once you know what they are, that's the first step to you taking control. Because when you know what the challenges and barriers are, then you get to decide what to do about them. So it puts you in charge. And the next step for you is planning. How are you going to move past these challenges? So let's think about it. You've shared some of them, and let's brainstorm how you're going to move past the challenges. So if you have a boss that's putting demands on you, how do you handle that in terms of keeping it appropriate? And this is your chance to start thinking, start creating ideas. For example, having a conversation with your boss. Hey, I want to make sure that I'm meeting the requirements of the position, meeting your needs and supporting what you're doing. And I'm also finding that I have a challenge of managing for myself what's appropriate in terms of my balance. So how can we make this work for both of us? And having a conversation with your boss. Now, it may depend on your boss. Sometimes that relationship is different. So you're the one who knows what it is. What is your way of moving past that challenge? Another one that you brought up, some of you, was the challenge of family or other people contacting you and they need your time. How do you handle that? So if that's what's going on, are you figuring out, okay, I've got to think about what the request is. Is this more appropriate for me to take away from whatever else I'm doing and go with that request? Is it something I can address at a different time? How do I balance this? How are you going to prioritize and make your decision in the moment when you get those requests, so that you're saying yes when it is the appropriate thing for you, and you're also able to say no? And that goes back to one of the comments of not saying no. What is your criteria for deciding whether it's a yes or no? So sometimes people establish their criteria based on what it means in terms of business opportunity, what it means in terms of priority or other commitments, what it means in terms of values. So that varies. Figure out what it is for you in terms of making the decision when the request comes. So now you've identified barriers for you, what else might get in the way? And then what you're doing is figuring out for each of those barriers that you're identifying, you're figuring out how you're going to move past them. What is your approach for addressing that and dealing with that? Now, of course, the next question is for you, what are your resources? So if you do want balance and you're creating balance, whatever it is for you, what are your resources for doing that? So let's brainstorm resources, because when you start typing in your ideas of possible resources, what's going to happen is other people are going to go, oh yeah, I can use that resource too, or I know how to take care of that, or I can access that. So what are your resources for creating your balance? So type in or raise your hand. And let's see, a couple of simple ones. Having a calendar. Another great one here, let's see, delegating or hiring outside help, a planner, friends, inspirational quotes or books, journaling, love that one. Somebody else saying delegating, this is great. One thing I've started doing, oh, and you're typing it in too, so a set schedule and then blocking out time in your schedule for some of those personal things. My coach, all right, love that one, way to go. Assigning to-dos to each day specifically is helpful. Mindfulness meditation, great. Quiet time to reflect on my priorities at the beginning of each day, really nice, really nice. You know, another one, and you can all laugh at me, I find this is a very important one for me, making sure I get enough sleep. Bottom line, when I get enough sleep, I'm way more effective during my day and I'm able to accomplish more. So that's good. Let's see. Got another one. CDs, meditation tracks help you focus in the morning and then in the evening letting go of the day. So that's awesome. Planning. Okay, we got another one in keeping with my sleeping. Actually, two of you right in a row here. Proper diet and then eat well, healthy eating. So definitely agree with that. We've got prayer. We've got affirmations. Yeah, naps. That's a good one too. So awesome. Lots of resources. Now I'm going to give you another one. What are your skill sets that are resources for you in terms of your balance? So when I think about this, many of you, for example, have done coach training. For those of you that are still looking at that, you've probably had different classes on communication skills, etc. How does that help you when it comes to saying no? How does that help you when it comes to having a conversation with your boss? Or how does that help you in terms of talking to your family and your friends about helping you make sure you're creating that balance? So excellent. Let's see, we're getting, this is awesome. So we did the eating and the sleeping piece of it. Now we're getting the exercise piece. I've got somebody typed in running. I've got somebody typed in running and yoga. Someone else typed in exercise. So this is awesome. Really, really good. Let's see, CrossFit, walking. We're continue building on this. Joyce, I'll unmute you again. Come live and say what you want to add to this list.
Walking, I was going to say just walking helps me out a lot.
Nice, nice. Thanks, Joyce. I'm getting, see, some people like to talk and say it out loud and some people like to type it in. So this is good. So excellent. And then we're moving into a whole nother area. Candles, bath, other serenity exercises, music, working in my garden, stretching, mindful breathing. All right. So here's a bit of a push for all of you. You've listed these great resources in terms of creating this balance. How are you going to use them? How are you making sure? Remember we talked about having that planner and that calendar and the schedule. How are you making sure that you're scheduling time for these things? So for example, somebody calls up and says, hey, I really got to talk to you. I've got this challenge. And you're looking at your calendar and it says, gosh, in 5 minutes, I've got my hour blocked out for walking or meditation or yoga or whatever you do. How do you handle it? Well, you use your communication skill and you say to the person, I really want to be here and helpful to you. I've got 5 minutes before my next appointment. Now, does that mean I have to tell them the next appointment is with myself? No. It means I have an appointment in 5 minutes, and so I can give you a couple of minutes right now, and if we want to talk again later, we can plan that too. And it's absolutely appropriate and okay to do that, to protect yourself and to protect your calendar. So make sure you're scheduling time. Now, if you decide to say, okay, this situation whether it's work or with a friend or a family member, is that important. I'm going to do it now. Then the challenge becomes, okay, if you're going to do that now, where are you moving that time you had blocked for yourself so that it's still happening? Where are you going to put that in your calendar? So in other words, this isn't about deleting it, it's about changing it. So if you schedule it in the first place and something happens, how are you rescheduling it and making sure it's still happening? All right, awesome. So really good exploration in terms of the resources. And in this process, we're starting to talk different ideas in terms of strategy. So I've shared a few examples. Give your input. What else do you want to incorporate in your strategy for creating your balance? So I've got one here, and this may have been for the last one. I think it fits great here as well. Managing expectations. That's a strategy. What's another one, everyone? A strategy you're going to use for creating your balance, whatever it is for you. I'm hoping you're all busy typing because I'm looking for those answers. Let's see, we've got organization, create habits for morning meditation. Nice. What else, everyone? Let's see, planning your week. Good. Identify actionables. Nice. Fully engaging in my priorities and goals so that I am able to say no. Nice. Learning skills to do things faster. Okay. That makes a lot of sense too, being efficient. Turn off the phone for the time to focus on something else. Excellent. Daily schedules. Set goals according to the SMART metric. Nice. So lots of great ideas in terms of strategy. All right, another one, reevaluate my calendar if it's not working. Yes, that's great. Organizing by the month, then the week, then the day. Nice. Staying true to my to-do list and what I aim to accomplish daily. These are great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing them, because everybody else on the call is getting these ideas too, and they're going, yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to use that. So this is awesome. All right. Now I'm going to really challenge you. I'm going to ask you to start committing. So what is at least one action step, each and every one of you, that you are going to commit to so that you are creating balance for yourself? And there's a power in committing to this. Think about it. When you type it in, of course, I'm the only one who's actually seeing it. At the same time, the fact that you expressed it in that way increases your follow-through on it. So start typing in your answers. What is an action step that you are committing to? So let's see. I've got one saying create a weekly schedule and follow it. Another one is saying to consciously take time to reflect on the day's mindset. I've got another one saying making a schedule for a week at a time. Another one is carve out specific time to attend to the process. Let's see. Oh, and add it to the making a schedule for the week at a time. You're saying with your goals. Nice. Another one is schedule weekly fun time on my calendar. Love it. Listen to this recording again and again. That's awesome. Let's see. Schedule morning spiritual reading and meditation before starting my day. Another one says look at the plan every morning and evening to see how I'm doing. Nice. Nice, nice. So this is great, and way to go you for committing to those action steps. That's awesome. And of course, I'm going to steal ideas from every single one of you, and I'm going to do it absolutely shamelessly. So I appreciate your sharing for my benefit too. Let's see, we got more coming in. Find an accountability partner. Create a to-do list at the end of the day for the next day. Nice, nice. This is great. All right, now let's have some fun. And many of you are going to remember this. Think about your life and think about having the balance with the appropriate amount of time and energy for the different areas of your life, your family, your work, your personal time. And now start describing it. When your life is balanced in the way that is appropriate for you, share. What are you going to see? Share. What will you say to yourself? What will you hear happening around you? What will you be saying to others? What will you hear others saying to you? Share how it will feel, what you'll be experiencing, what is happening, what it means to you. Paint that full picture. So some of you are starting to type these in. Keep going, keep adding to this. This is awesome. So here's a few things that we're getting. Let's see. Peaceful and pleasant. A freedom-based lifestyle. Peace and joy. Feeling more connected to my spouse. This is awesome. What else will you see? What else will you hear? What else will you feel? Let's see. I will feel like I'm making a difference in the lives of others. Nice. Authentically happy. I'm caught up with my desk items, feeling relaxed about my full day, peaceful and empowered. Looking in the mirror and loving who I am and what I'm doing. Nice. I feel like I'm myself. Keeping my coffee time with my husband as a priority. All right, so now here's one that says, I will feel less chaos. If it's less chaos, what will it be instead? And we've got positive, lots of trips, success in my career, impact in others' lives, spiritual connectedness, physical empowerment, joy. What an awesome list. This is great. See stronger relationships, feel motivation for time with family, enjoy the aromatherapy in my home. Nice. Very relaxed. Able to sort out priorities, see my schedule. Let's see, having time for yourself and being okay with that, and perspective. So awesome, at peace. Oh, I love that one, time for massage. Okay, I think a couple of us will line up with you on that one. All right, nice. Thank you, everyone. This is awesome. So think about what we've just been doing here for this. We said, what is your definition of balance? And then in that definition of balance, we talked about having the appropriate amount of time. So then we said, define what that is for you. And then each of you were asked to list possible barriers to creating that balance for yourself. Then we asked you to identify resources for creating balance, create your action plan, and then describe the ideal. Is this sounding familiar, everyone? This is essentially our process as coaches when we're working with people in an area like this. So guess what we're going to do? We're moving to setting healthy boundaries. How are we going to set those healthy boundaries? We're going to define what healthy boundaries are. So get ready to help with that definition. We're going to list the barriers. We're going to identify the resources, create the action plan, and describe the ideal. So we're going to take the same process and we're going to apply it to healthy boundaries. So let's start. What are healthy boundaries? Everybody start typing in your responses. How do you define healthy boundaries? And I'm hoping you're all typing. Let's see, allowing the good in and keeping the bad out. Knowing when enough is enough. Protected time. These are great. My time and efforts are respected by others. Being comfortable saying no. This is awesome. So healthy boundaries, listening to my body, understanding locus of control. We control only ourselves. Not resenting what I have said yes to. Okay. knowing yourself well enough to know what feels right and respect yourself when interacting with others. Co-create with others who are affected by them with those boundaries. Nice, really good awareness. This is awesome. All right, so tell me what you think of this definition. So obviously I was working on this in preparation. So physical, mental, and emotional limits we use to protect ourselves. What do you think of that definition of healthy boundaries? Give me your input on it. Let's see, and we're getting more insight on other definitions too. Processing impact on me, family members' career, assessing it and others, and determining what is desirable. Nice. Great way of building on that definition. Let's see, we're getting input. You're liking this definition too. So whether it's this one, some of the others you've heard, or something you created yourself, define healthy boundaries for you. And then, of course, the next step, oh, and we got another one, well-rounded definition. Oh, good. Glad you're liking that. So let's go here. When you think about setting healthy boundaries, what might prevent you from setting healthy boundaries with family, with work, and on a personal level? So start sharing. What are the barriers? And again, you're going to have a lot of you are going to share these barriers. I love this one. Being a pleaser. I share that barrier as well. Pleasing others over myself. That's great. We've got another one saying our own ego. Expectations of others. These are great. These are good barriers. What else might get in the way of you setting healthy boundaries? Let's see, family obligations, pride, good. Overcommitting myself, yes, great awareness. What else is going to get in the way? So as you're thinking about this, you're typing them in, you're jotting notes for yourself on that paper you have. And of course, the question is, and what else, and what else? Let's see, having a perspective that's out of balance, that's a really good awareness. So awesome. These are great insights, all of you. Let's see, performance-driven mentality sounds like somebody in the corporate space, and I know the person who wrote that is in the corporate space, true to what that is. Yeah, absolutely makes sense. So these are all factors, all considerations. These are the barriers. And of course, now that we've identified the barriers, let's move into identifying the resources. So think about what you have available to support you establishing and maintaining those healthy boundaries. So as you're starting to develop your list on your paper and typing in the question panel, include things in terms of your own skill sets, include things in terms of relationships. Where do you have people in your life that are going to help you, support you, partner with you, etc.? Think in terms of other logistical pieces. So for example, healthy boundaries sometimes can be where you are physically. It can be different technologies. So there are all kinds of things available to you. So a few of you are starting to type in responses. Keep going. We want to share this brainstorm with everyone so you all benefit. So call screening and voicemail. Love it. Somebody mentioned earlier that phone ringing is a barrier, so that's awesome. Bargain or compromise. Having a coach. Headspace mediation app. Oh, that's an interesting one. I'm unfamiliar with that. Sounds like an app on your iPhone or Android, so excellent. The Wheel of Life exercise is a good resource. Awesome. What else is a resource for you in terms of establishing and maintaining boundaries? Let's see, the meditation app, honoring and respecting yourself and others, taking that self-responsibility, nice. Self-evaluation from time to time, it means scheduling that. Yeah, excellent. what else is a resource for you? You know, I know one thing I've done is I have a question, I'll go to the internet and I'll type it in. Now, of course, sometimes what you get there is worthwhile and sometimes not so much. That's okay. Even reading it gives you something to start thinking about and push your parameters in terms of how you're looking at it. So this is awesome. Let's see, talking about boundaries with my best friend, in your case, who happens to be a counselor, so that's awesome. Delegation is a great thing, yes, hiring an assistant. You know, what's funny here is we're starting to hear some of the resources that applied in terms of balance also apply here with healthy boundaries. Listening to the affirmation helps to remind me of what it is I want, and that helps maintaining boundaries. Good, good. Oh, we've got naming some other motivators that are available publicly, like Les Brown, Maria Forleo, so excellent. Talking with someone I can trust to be truthful, develop language around saying no. Yeah, absolutely. This is excellent. Oh, when we mentioned those other names, we started getting a few more. Simon Sinek, Brene Brown. Excellent. Yeah. Marshall Goldsmith's got some good stuff. There's all kinds of great things out there in terms of how you establish and maintain those healthy boundaries. So excellent. Now let's move into developing your plan. So start with strategy. What are strategies for you to use that others can use in terms of establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries? All right, everyone, start brainstorming. Type in your ideas. What are different things to implement as an overall strategy? So we've had a couple of you talk over the course of this on those affirmation stories. So yes, that is definitely a strategy because it maintains your confidence and your focus over the long term. Let's see, vision board, nice. Practicing how to say no without sounding rude with my best friend. That's perfect because practicing it makes it easier when you're really doing it. Practice language you will use. So we got a couple of people saying that. How are you going to say no? And having someone you can practice that with. A friend. My dog is really good for practicing those kinds of things. Practicing in front of the mirror. Awesome. This is excellent. What else in terms of strategy? Simply saying no. Yes, your calendar becomes a strategy because like we talked about earlier, oh, I've got a meeting. Let's see, practice setting new habits step by step. Nice, nice, nice. And now expand. What specifically is your action plan? So each one of you commit to an action for yourself. Write it on your piece of paper. Love to have you type it in here. What is your action plan? And I'm starting to get a few things, and this may have been from before too, so that's okay in terms of strategy. Manage my stuff, and that is defined as life challenges. Manage it emotionally, focus on my goals, and recite my list of why, the reasons you're doing what you're doing. So that's awesome. What else is an action step? Come on, everybody, type in specifically, what are you going to commit to doing? Oh, I love this one. This is, you said it sounds crazy, and I'm thinking this is a great one. She said, send yourself a note of affirmation in the mail. Literally mailing yourself something. That's awesome. Schedule time for reading. Time for fun stuff for yourself, and time for exercise. So that's a great commitment to an action step. Excellent. What else, everyone? What are you going to do? Commit to action step, specific measurable action step for establishing and maintaining boundaries. All right, we've got another one. Commit myself to be more frequently aware of my emotions, feelings, and or aware of what my one thing is. Become aware of how I self-sabotage and journal about it. writing down my goals, scheduling my daily responsibilities and desires, saying no to even good things that might get me off track, reflect on my priorities, and then focus on my motivation on certain tasks, including time with loved ones. Nice. Take vacations. Love that one. Get out and do it. Planning is wonderful, and affecting the plan is really what is required. Nice. Celebrate success in setting boundaries. Awesome. Awesome. Way to go. And how many of you are borrowing some of the ideas you're getting that others are putting in? Give me a show of hands or type in. Let's see, carve out time for me every day. Yeah, and I'm getting several of you saying, yes, you're getting ideas from others. I'm seeing some hands wave. So awesome. It is so great to do this mutual brainstorming. Let's see, so a couple more. Link up with an accountability partner. Publish my goals and steps I've designed. Nice. Setting realistic expectations and celebrating success. Awesome. Awesome. Way to go. All right. Now, describe your life when you create balance. Oh, I'm going to correct myself. Obviously, I went too fast on that one. Describe your life when you create healthy boundaries. So share, type in. If you want to come out and say it out loud, say it out loud. Describe your life when you create healthy boundaries. Let's see, we've got low stress, full of joy and great relationships. I will be happy, peaceful, protected, safe, peaceful again. What else, everyone? Let's see, spending my time and energy on my priorities, nurtured, have time for both work and play. Let's see, accomplished, centered, enjoyment of family, career, and activities, a sense of well-being. Now, somebody tell me, what will you say to yourself when you establish those healthy boundaries and you're maintaining them? Let's see, we've got quality time in all aspects of my life, free, thriving, confident, yay for me. You're going to say that to yourself. Love it. Way to go. Way to go. Another good one. Life feels good. Acknowledge, celebrate, repeat. Go, girl. Yay, this is awesome. Keep up the good work. Nice. And what are you going to see around you when you have those healthy boundaries in place? So we're getting a few more. What you're going to say, start typing in what you're going to see. So you're going to keep up the good work. You can do this. Great things to be saying to yourself. Way to go. What will you see around you? So think about what you'll see in terms of the expression on your own face and your own posture, the expression on faces around you. What's the environment going to be? Let's see. We've got happy wife, happy life, husband benefits too. Nice. I will see myself being respected by the people around me. Wholeness, vivid color, strong, healthy relationships. Awesome, awesome. This is great. This is great stuff. Smiling often. So you're going to see that as well. Excellent. I will see myself as confident and accomplished. Oh, this is a great one. Clean counters. Love it. Looking younger. Yes. You know, there's a lot of truth to that. So that's awesome. Excellent, excellent. All right. Way to go, all of you. And now let's play with taking care of yourself. And let's think through very quickly the same things. So first off, how do you define taking care of yourself? So sharing thoughts, writing it down, whatever it is for you. Some of you will talk about how you're eating, sleeping, exercising. Some of you will talk about, you mentioned earlier, getting a massage. Part of it is your healthy boundaries, having the balance. What does taking care of yourself mean to you? Health and wellness activities a priority daily. Connect with family and friends. This is great. And then move into listing the barriers. What are your barriers for taking care of yourself? And be thinking about that. So you're sharing additional pieces on definition, meditation, diet, exercise, daydream every day. Now moving into barriers, you've got putting other people before my own well-being, being too busy, being creative, time, challenging negative attitudes around us, letting others steal my time. Yeah, these are all barriers. Okay, everyone, you know the next question. Get ready. What are the resources for taking care of yourself? And I love this one. Believing that I'm worth it, that I deserve it. That's awesome. What else is a resource? Joyce, it looks like you're ready to come on live again. Go ahead. Joyce, you've got yourself muted. And please keep typing in, everyone. Go ahead, Joyce.
Oh, just trying to declutterize your mind, so it starts with yourself. You'll be a good resource.
Nice, nice. The decluttering. And Joyce, you said declutter your mind. I think it's also decluttering your space, because I find when I'm in a clean space, it really helps me feel better. So that's awesome. Let's see. Here we got more. See myself as valuable and worthy. Awareness of self needs and honoring them. Having a friend support you. Setting boundaries. Managing others' expectations. Cute phrases on plaques, etc. as reminders. Daily reading about A Course in Miracles. So this is great. It's called, the daily reading is called Holy Shift. Nice. Maintaining a great community of relationships. So this is awesome. And of course, there's so much overlap between each other here and between these different areas. So the resources for balance and boundaries also are resources for taking care of yourself. Maintaining a great community of relationships, journaling, this is awesome. So then, of course, you move into having your action plan, your strategy and action steps that you're committing to. So share a few of those. Start committing, everybody. What is at least one action step you will take to take care of yourself? Let's hear them. Start typing them in. If you want to come on live, that's an option too. So what are you going to commit to? So we've got, let's see, journaling, workout, put my plan in my calendar. Nice. Let's see, visit my sister, and you list it where. Awesome. Eat a healthy salad for lunch today. That's a great first step. Better planning, learning new things, getting into work later so I can work out in the morning. Nice. Practice 4-7-8 breathing exercise each morning and evening before bed. Schedule time for yoga. Getting to bed earlier. What time is earlier? Plan your meals in advance. Say no to social engagements when it's time to have alone time. This is awesome. Way to go, you. You're getting some great action steps here. Now, of course, I'm going to shift you into describing the ideal. So when you are taking care of yourself, how will that feel? What will you see? What will you say to yourself? So start thinking about this. Let's see, we've got 5-minute breaks from work to breathe. What else is happening when you take care of yourself? Type in, let's see, more energized, easier to focus, increased productivity. I will feel energetic, feel lighter. These are great. Awesome. Joyce, I see you are loving this coming on live. I'm going to unmute you again, and you can unmute yourself and share yours.
You start to look better.
You do look better. Yes, when you take care of yourself. So awesome. Thank you. And let's see, we've got more coming in. I'll feel whole. I'll see myself being more energized, in a good mood. I will feel victorious because I'm seeing beyond the present challenges. Positive outlook. Happy, 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 smiling. I will be mentally and physically stronger and healthier. I'll feel healthier. Looking forward. This is awesome. Way to go. So excellent. Positive creates positive. Really good awareness. Getting more meaning out of your life. So excellent, excellent. Thank you. All right. So next, we've covered balance. We've talked about healthy boundaries. We've talked about self-care. You've been sharing action steps for each of these as we go. Now, here's the next one. What's your action step to apply the insights you've gotten out of this conversation? What's your action step for using the coaching process yourself? What's your action step for using this coaching process with people that you're working with? So let's start hearing your ideas in terms of actions and in terms of application of new insights. So let's see. I've got some of you are starting to type in and keep going. Let's get more. So I've got a commitment here to update your time management seminar into a webinar. Nice. Love that. That's a great application. What else, everyone? What else are you going to do in terms of actions and application? Let's see, somebody else committing to listening to this again and choose one thing from each area to start with. Awesome. What else, everyone? How are you going to use this with your clients? Somebody said, I will schedule a time with myself to put my plan in writing and then put it in my calendar. Way to go. Nice. And what else, everyone? What else are you going to do? Let's see, with clients, use these questions. Awesome. Do a brainstorming exercise with client. Way to go. Mirror the questions and process with clients. Yes, I will use this plan for a client this next week. Awesome. This is great. And it's interesting how when we all take the time to really think about it, talk about it, share, have these conversations, what we get out of it. And of course, one of the challenges that comes up is as soon as we're done with this conversation, you jump back into the rest of your day, and then what happens? Well, everything else takes over. Habits take over, competing priorities, all of these other things. So here's the question for you. How are you going to make sure these things are in place for you after this conversation? And be thinking about that. Coming back to it, revisiting. How many of you are getting out your calendar right now and putting these things in it? How many of you have got a written list that you're using? So yeah, it is. This is a great comment. Do it now. Make it a habit. So absolutely, absolutely. Great and great input. Thank you all of you for jumping right in and sharing your comments. I mean, the question panel has just been scrolling so fast. I hope I got most of these. So this is good. And it says, oh, my client needs this from me, so it will be a priority. Another one, remind myself every morning. Put my self-care in my calendar. I do best when I do things first thing in the morning. So excellent. Believe in the plan I've already created. Move into that belief, write what I will accomplish each day. So nice. And way to go, all of you. Do me a favor. Share your successes with me. Send emails so that I get to hear about your success stories out of this, because this is awesome. Awesome stuff. All right, we have a few minutes left, so of course I do want to wrap up, give you a few things in terms of resources, etc., and then whatever time remaining, of course, take additional questions. So first off, the International Coach Federation, definitely a resource. Those of you that are both complete with both your professional and master coach class are probably members. They do have a peer coaching program you can sign up for. You mentioned having a coach as a resource. Lots of other good information there, as well as blogs, etc. The Center for Coaching Solutions is a resource for you, and the Center for Coaching Certification. So the International Coach Federation is at coachfederation.org, Center for Coaching Certification.com, and then Center for Coaching Solutions.com. Do take advantage of the books and the blog articles that are available and participate with that. For those of you that are graduates, this is a chance for you to be a guest blogger and get yourself out there. It's a chance for you to be published as an author in one of the books. And then, of course, we do these free webinars. So we have 30-minute webinars every month and 60 minutes every other month. So sign up for more, and if you want to host one of them like today's, let me know, because that's an opportunity as well. So excellent. All right. Do want to be available to you. So if it's a quick phone call or email, you just want to check in, ask a question, whatever, please do that. In terms of outsourcing, as an organization, hopefully you all know we're available to help. Sometimes people want consulting on how to start and run a coaching program. We also provide training for coaches, both the classes that many of you have taken or see on the website. We also are contracting with companies to do training programs internally. And then, of course, we're definitely a resource as far as finding a coach. Next steps for you now. If you want, I'm going to give you a free consultation, so I make that available when we do these programs. So I give away a free 30-minute. If you want to take advantage of that, let me know. Figure out what resources you are going to use, plan your process, implement your strategy, and achieve your results. So way to go, you. Thank you, all of you, for being here. And yeah, thank you for the thank you comments in the question panel as well. I definitely appreciate that. We are complete on what I've got for you. So now this is a chance where you get to ask whatever else you want to ask. Happy to take your questions. And in the meantime, we're getting lots of thanks. So glad this was valuable for you, that you enjoyed the interaction and the discussion. So excellent. Thank you, all of you, for that feedback. This is great. And definitely looking forward to hearing from you, hearing about your successes. From what I can tell, it seems like we're complete as far as responding to your questions. So I'm going to say thank you again, all of you. I will send you a link to the recording on the YouTube channel. So thanks, everyone. Have a fabulous rest of your day and have a fabulous weekend. So thank you, everyone.